Hello, everyone. Welcome to Grand Football Daily World Cup Review. It is day 9 today, and you are welcome to the show. And I've got with me two very good friends of mine, very good friends who answer the call every time I call. King T and Mr. Fab. You are welcome. You're welcome,
Thank you for
guys.
having me. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
How you doing, Mr. Fab?
I'm good. Good. Can't complain.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, so today it's been a very, well, it started off explosive, I must admit. You know, normally when we come on the show, we start with the most interesting ones, and most times it's not normally the first game of the day. But today, it's different. We start with the first game of the day.
Yeah.
Cameroon versus Serbia. Boy, take it away, guys. What did you make of that game?
It was a good wake-up game at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Considering you would have been expecting them to be a bit boring, but I think for me, the starting lineup, I'll say, Song messed up a little bit. I think he should have started certain players earlier, like bringing on Abubakar and the other left back that replaced is it Mbome?
Mbeumo.
Mbeumo, yeah.
Okay.
That guy should have actually come on earlier, or maybe at the beginning of second half.
Yeah.
Which would Christian Basogog.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Something like that.
Him coming
Not
on
good with their names.
him coming on with Abubakar literally changed their game.
Okay.
And that gave Abubakar like that space to be able to like move around, because I think a lot of them they know Basogog. I think they've seen his game a little bit. So they were used to, okay, he's going to be a threat. He's very direct. He knows what he's doing. And I feel like, game started well. Though I felt at some point Cameroon were out with the way they were playing with the scores. But, I'll say a good change as well, bringing them in. But if they had started, probably would have won the game.
Mr. Fab, what did you make of the game?
I felt it was a game that was worthy of a last 16 or quarterfinal fixture.
Yeah.
It was
good.
It was for any football lover. It was quite an interesting football match. I mean, I've known about him, but I've never really seen him play. Talking about what's his name again? The striker.
Choupo-Moting. Yeah.
The absolute revelation. His confidence on the ball.
Yeah.
Is quite interesting.
Yeah.
And I thought Serbia was I think they were grateful to have even scored the first goal. And I think Cameroon obviously just, they lost concentration and then considered two goals afterwards.
Two goals afterwards, yeah.
The way they came back was just amazing. And there was this confidence about them, because there's always talk about African countries not being not being up to the task and everything, but there was this confidence.
Yeah,
we're meant, and we're meant to deliver. So it was good. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
I totally enjoyed the game. Totally. It was funny when I actually started watching the game. Cameroon were already leading 1-0.
Yeah.
And then the next time I looked, they were down 2-1. And then again I looked again, 3-1. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then I saw, Cameroon, man, man, you guys have lost it this time. And then we moved on, and the next minute, I saw Abubakar had come on, and he did that magic where he scored that beautiful second goal. In fact, when he came on, he changed the game. He changed
the game, yeah. And I think that having that second striker up front with Choupo-Moting gave him that freedom to win the ball, knowing Abubakar would get the ball if he wins it with that header. You know, I think that created like more chance. And to me, best football tactics would always be 4-4-2.
Yeah.
You know, it creates you've got two holding midfielders, you've got two wingers. You can say it's very basic, but it works. It actually works.
It does work, yeah.
You know, it created a support. The two midfielders were not going forward. If one goes, one stays, and then you've got the wingers going. And there was that interchange. You would say Abubakar on the left, in the middle, on the right. And
it's funny though. It's funny though. He created the assist for the third goal. It's funny. He's not normally in that kind of position. He's normally the one receiving the ball, like where Choupo-Moting was. So I think he's trying to adapt his game now because obviously he's getting older and trying to play at different positions. And because normally he's just the front man. He's about 36, 37, if I'm not.
I've been hearing Abubakar for a long time.
Abubakar, in fact, he's like is he not the highest goal scorer in the African Cup of Nations, something like that? Because he's in every African Cup of Nations, he always, if not win, he's there or thereabouts in the, what's it called, the Golden Boot. You know, so he's in any competition he has played for Cameroon.
I'm looking at his age now, and I'm trying to figure out his exact. Come on, now they said he's.
How old is he? What? He's 30. He's 30. No, I'm not gonna argue with that right now. I'm not gonna argue because he's been around for a very, very long time. You know, he's been around for a very long time.
You're saying I'm older than that man. Nah.
You see, I was calling him 36, 37, but they've proved me wrong. He's 30.
There's no way that man
still going. Still going.
No.
He might just have an old looking, a strong face. There's some people like that that have strong faces.
He was born 22nd January 1992.
He plays for a Saudi Arabian football club.
Yeah.
At the moment.
He plays for Al Nassr. Al Nassr. And Al Nassr now, yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
Forget his age, forget all that. From that. Yeah. He's done well today.
He's done well today. That's
the main thing. He's helped his team get back into the game.
Get back into it.
Giving them a lifeline for the final game.
He came in and he understood the eye line Serbia was playing.
Yeah.
And he took advantage of that because if you notice, both goals came through as a result of
the eye line they were playing.
Eye line, and before they could react, it's gone, and he beat it to perfection. And you wonder where he's so and he understood what he needed to do, and I believe the players giving him the passes understood what needed to be done. That time
I have a chance against Brazil, because Brazil have already qualified.
Yeah, so they might play their fringe players for that one. So the likes of Martinelli that hasn't played.
Yeah, they're not all out.
Yeah. The likes of Dani Alves.
That can happen. Dani Alves might still play for Brazil.
Yeah.
Those who haven't really played.
But to be honest, I still feel their second team will still be too strong for Cameroon. But you never know. Because you would have the likes of Gabriel Jesus up front. You have
Pedro,
the likes of
and
Fabinho, exactly, who hasn't had a game. You have the likes of Ederson in goal.
Yeah.
So they're still strong, man. They're just still strong. Just a case of maybe not as strong as the first team. And don't forget, they had oh no, it wasn't them. It was Ghana that Brazil played, and they trashed them during the friendlies before the World Cup, where they trashed them 3-0. I'm sure it was just a warm-up for when they play against an African side.
But to be honest, it's a bit tricky though, because they don't have the same.
Yeah, if they had played someone like maybe Nigeria, would have even been closer to Cameroon than Ghana, because Ghana play kind of like different from the way
they all different games,
Cameroon play. So that was an explosive start, and well done to Cameroon for at least still hanging on. and, you know, taking themselves into the final game to see if they can salvage something and get themselves in the next round. But it'll be a bit hard, like we've said. Brazil is a hard test.
It's a hard test, but I feel Serbia
they've
also has
qualified
got
already.
everything to play for. Serbia could, if
everyone
Serbia
in
beats
that group,
Switzerland,
really,
I've got something to play for. So the second position is open. You know, Cameroon, if Cameroon beat Brazil by 2 goals or 1 goal or 2, and they get on that 4-point board, they will need more than a goal. Actually,
exactly.
No, actually, they will need just 2 goals because Cameroon,
Serbia.
No, Cameroon.
Serbia.
Cameroon is on
-1.
Goal difference is -1. Serbia is -2.
Yeah.
So Cameroon would need to beat Brazil 2-0 to have a +1.
Yeah.
And if Serbia draw Switzerland, which is what they need, that would be tricky.
No, Serbia need to win as well because they lost their first game as well to Brazil.
Yeah, if Serbia beats Switzerland, then they would both be 4 points with Cameroon.
Yeah.
So you need Switzerland
it'd be a case of
Serbia to draw, and maybe by 2-2, and in the hope Cameroon can win Brazil 2-0.
Yeah, like literally all they need to do is just win.
Win. That's all you need to do. Win your game. Don't care about what's happening in the rest. Just win your game, and then you would have a better chance.
That would be tricky.
You know? You have a better chance. But the only time they might not go through is if Switzerland win, because Switzerland have already won against Cameroon.
If Switzerland win, then
points.
You know, Serbia and Cameroon is out.
So if Switzerland beats Serbia, then they'll go through as second or first or whatever, depending on what Brazil play. You know, so it'd be good to see what happens. So now we are still on that group. We might as well talk about the Brazil versus Switzerland game. Did you guys see any of that game?
That's the goal, actually. Didn't really watch a lot of it, but it looked like it was a tough test for Brazil.
It was a good game. I actually saw most of it. It was a very good game. It was a very, very good game, you know, in terms of tactics. Brazil were free-flowing, trying to move the ball, and Switzerland tried to frustrate Brazil the way Serbia did. But the difference was that they themselves were also going forward. You know, when they tried to catch Brazil on the break, you know, when they get possession, they try to move quick. And, you know, eventually Brazil kind of like sussed them out in the second half, and they found it hard to get the ball in the second half. You know, most of the time Brazil had the ball. In fact, they scored a goal, which I thought was a good goal, but obviously with this new VAR technology, you can see there's no argument there. You can see that they were offside. But if it was just looking at they're onside, but with that one, they were definitely offside for Vinicius Jr. But Vinicius had a good game. Rafinha had a better game than the first one. But Richarlison, I felt, was a bit poor in this one. And it told when he got taken off. He was falling down too quickly, you know, getting himself in positions where he was getting fouled a lot. So it wasn't really affecting the game, you know, like you would expect. Gabriel Jesus came on, for Richarlison. So he had at least 20 minutes in the game, Jesus. And what's his name also came on? Who did they bring on? But the goal, we've got to go to that goal, man.
Did they bring on Guimaraes? Is it Guimaraes?
Yeah, that's who I was trying to think. Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle. They brought him on as well. And he was excellent in midfield. But it was the goal, man. That goal was beautiful. It was, and again, it was down to Brazil moving the ball quick. You know, any other team probably wouldn't have scored that goal, because as soon as the ball came to Casemiro, it didn't even allow it bounce on the floor. The ball, you know, they just passed to Vinicius. Vinicius passed. I can't remember if it's Bruno or Gabriel Jesus, but someone just tapped it and it was still in the air, and Casemiro just let loose and it was beautiful. I mean, it took a little bit of deflection, but it was still a good goal because the keeper was rooted to the spot. You know where the keepers didn't move because the ball was that quick. The guy he just saw the ball go past him. It's like, whoa, what's happened here? So it was a good game. And Brazil, they had all their legends in the stands as well. They had Roberto Carlos was there, Ronaldo was there, Cafu was there, Kaká was there, you know. So and they were all sat together. Someone was saying amongst the commentary, imagine that five-a-side. You wouldn't want to play that five-a-side against that team because they're still, you know, very good. Even now, they could still beat some current players if they decide to get on the pitch. That's how good it was. And you know what's funny? I saw, you know, the Nigerian chairman, well, is it the chairman they call them? The NFA chairman.
Yeah. For Nigeria.
What's his name?
NFA boss.
NFA boss. Yeah, he was sat right in front of Ronaldo. I was like, oh, there he is. Why is he there?
Nigeria didn't qualify and he's there.
No, but there's some countries I've seen that they didn't qualify.
Yeah,
but their representatives are there.
I think they still need to represent the country
or your represent the country. Yeah, so it was nice to see.
I'm trying to find who created the pass because it was like a good layoff. But even from
you saw it, you seen it.
I'm trying to watch it again, but for some reason you can't really see the person.
Yeah, that's the thing. I couldn't really tell who it was, but I think it's either Bruno or Rodrigo. It's either Bruno, Rodrigo, or Jesus. It's one of them.
Would laid up the pass.
I think it's Rodrigo.
It's Rodrigo, right?
I think so. Yeah.
The assist.
Yeah, Rodrigo. Yeah, Rodrigo.
It was a beautiful assist. You see the way he just left it.
It was a very quick layoff, and it was off. Sublime.
Yes, it was a good goal. So yeah, Brazil, the third team now to already book their place in the next round after France and who's the other team? Portugal. Yeah. Yeah, so Brazil, France, and Portugal. And then obviously, speaking of Portugal, that was the last game today. And obviously, they won 2-0. Good win for them.
Yeah.
Good win for Portugal.
Against Uruguay, yeah.
Fernandes with 2 goals, where Ronaldo almost nicked one off him, but officially it was given to Fernandes. Yeah. It was given. I mean, his hairline, I think they said, touched the ball, but it wasn't enough to take it away from Fernandes because he had the original shot. So well done to Portugal. They must have played really well to secure that win and book their place in the next round because their next game obviously is against South Korea, which we'll talk about now. South Korea versus Ghana.
Yeah.
No, that was a very interesting one.
Very interesting game.
I'll let Mr. Ake take the lead on this one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was really proud of. I was proud of Ghana.
Yeah.
No beef from here, although no support Nigeria, but yeah. Again, just like Cameroon, there was this style, there was this way they play. We belong here. We're meant to be.
And even after their first goal,
I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys, but I feel that that's Morocco's win. Yesterday might have inspired all the other African teams. Say, look, if Morocco can do it, we can do it as well. We have to show that we are here too. You know,
some of their players were just exceptional. My boy, the party was just. He was doing
running things in the midfield, man.
He was so you can tell that obviously all the praises he gets as a national player is not because of Arsenal fans being who they are. Well, a quality player. He's an absolutely quality player.
Yeah, he is.
And Mohamed Kudus, oof, what a revelation, man.
Yeah, he's been very
I
good in the
would
Right.
expect something to happen with him being coming to the Premier League next season.
You
Probably.
I
remember
won't be surprised.
he said it, and a lot of people were actually laughing when he said at the beginning of the World Cup that he's actually better than Neymar.
Oh, he said
Someone
that.
said-
Yeah, someone said.
He's better than Neymar.
Oh,
And
there was something about him that came up. Oh yeah, that's the same person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tim Kudus.
I'm-
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's right, but come on, man. I mean, what has Neymar done that? My point is, if Neymar did what Kudus did, we'll all be singing his praises from the rooftop.
True.
So he's really,
True.
and he helped Ghana, quite well get to and now have an amazing fighting chance to get to the next level. To the next part of it, because basically all they need to do is just beat Uruguay, which seems
and it's a revenge match. Remember the last time they met?
Oh yeah,
when Suarez handled in the area and they missed the penalty. So they've got unfinished business there.
It's definitely
and I think looking at the old Ghanaian team, they seem solid. You can pick out one player in defense, one in midfield, and one in another kit that actually has done something. So you've got Salisu in defense, brilliant.
Yeah.
You've got Thomas Partey, who's done well, and then you've got Kudus, you've got Jordan Ayew, which is free kick. I didn't know he could whip the ball like that.
No, he's got that in him. Sometimes you see flashes of it in Crystal Palace.
You don't see a lot. It's not that often.
He's definitely got that in him. I've seen a few flashes most times at Crystal Palace. The thing about him is that he's not consistent. He might have these flashes of brilliance and then fades away.
He's too emotional.
Yeah.
I think he's too as a player.
Yeah.
I think that's one of he's too emotional. He can't. He wears his emotion on his sleeves. He can't.
Yeah, true. So that ends the second round of games. This game, Portugal, Uruguay, that was played earlier on today. That ends the second round. So tomorrow we now go into the cracker, really, where people start, packing their bags. I'm sure they pack their bag before they actually play the game. As soon as we finish, if we've lost, off we go.
Straight away.
We're leaving.
Except if you've got a private holiday afterwards.
What are the times for the matches tomorrow?
So there's 3:00 and 7:00.
Right. Okay.
So and the way they've set it up is that each group are playing at the same time. So 2 games at the same time,
Right.
So the 3:00 games will be 2 different venues
where Ecuador,
Senegal, and then Netherlands and Qatar are playing at the same time and finish at the same time. So no one gets any advantage of, we've qualified, or this person, we need this to beat this. They might be hearing, rumors in the stadium. That's all it will be.
I think that would make it more interesting,
Yeah.
And I think the one I would want to see a lot is the England-Wales game.
Yeah, the England-Wales game will be very explosive.
And also the Iran game would also be interesting.
That would be the most interesting in my opinion, because both of them actually,
Iran needs just a draw to go through.
And USA needs a win, really.
They need a win to go through. Iran needs a draw to go through. England needs a win or a draw.
Iran is to be compact and solid.
And
I
feel like Iran can actually pull this one off against the USA.
Yeah, I agree.
I know my prediction is the other way, but I feel like Iran can actually pull it off.
It's funny you said that. I was going to say my prediction is for USA to win, but thinking about it, Iran might want it more
defensively, and then just just take the opportunity to counter US, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah. And it would also be nice to have, a country, not the usual in the last 16.
An underdog, last 16, yeah.
It would be nice, and I think we spoke about this when we had I think 2 days ago.
Yeah.
When you have countries like that with what Saudi Arabia has done, Qatar has done, what Iran is doing, it would put more light in that region to go, you know what? There's an opportunity to develop an actual proper league football investments in this area that people can actually start focusing on. It starts from somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what this will do. It starts from somewhere. And I feel like, I would love to see Iran go through. And if England is not careful, England will still qualify because they've got a good goal difference. But it's just gonna be disappointing if they don't win their game against Wales.
It'll be interesting to see.
It will be very disappointing
if that happens. Okay, guys, thank you very, very much for today, guys. Tomorrow is another beautiful day, game week 10, and we've looked at those games already, and I'm sure by the time I meet with whoever my guest is tomorrow, it will be explosive, where we're looking at those who have gone through and those who are going home, because it's from tomorrow we start saying bye-bye to a few teams. So look forward to that. It will be explosive from tomorrow up until Friday when teams are knocked out.
Home tomorrow.
So, well, yeah.
Are going home tomorrow.
Teams are going home tomorrow. Yeah. 4 every day from tomorrow till Friday. So that will be
I know this is a quick one. Just a quick one. With the Senegal group, it's a bit of a tricky one because 3 people can actually all 3 can still go through.
Yeah. There's 3 or 4 groups that all 4 can actually go through.
Because you've got Senegal, Ecuador, Netherlands who are on 3-4-4 on 2 goals difference each. Senegal just need to beat Ecuador.
Yeah.
And they go through on 6 points.
Yeah.
Netherlands need to beat Qatar and they go through.
Yeah.
So, and looking at it, it's between Ecuador and Senegal who wants it more. And I feel like Ecuador and Senegal play the same kind of football.
Yeah.
I think they're on the same level. So it's...
to be honest, though, I feel Ecuador just edges Senegal a little bit. Because they play smoother football. And because Senegal has not got that Mane type of player, but Ecuador do in Valencia. So he could be the difference. He could just pop up with a goal from somewhere no one expects. But Senegal have to depend on all these players, and hopefully one of them come up with the goal. That's the difference, and it might be a big difference in this kind of game. So we'll see how that one goes. Yeah. We'll see how that one goes. Listen, guys, thank you very, very much. Our time is up now, so we would, see you again very soon. Thank you guys for always answering the call, and thank you those of you watching and everything. I hope you have a lovely, lovely time. Bye for now, guys.